Front bench SNP, Chris Stephens.
Well, thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's a pleasure to follow the chair of the Justice Select Committee, of which I am now a recent member, and I look forward to working with him in that regard. As this bill, Mr Deputy Speaker, it covers most of the devolved competencies, I'm going to confine my observations, you'll be pleased to hear, to one topic, and that is the amendments tabled by the Honourable Member for Kingston upon North, and to explain why the Scottish National Party will be supporting the amendments in that regard for this bill. It should be noted, Mr Deputy Speaker, that over 140 members of this House have signed that amendment, representing every single political affiliation represented in this House, and I think that shows the strength of feeling that there is within the House. And that is, of course, Mr Deputy Speaker, because of the concerns I think many of us have had that the Government, in discussing this issue, since the issue of compensation was considered by Sir Brian Langstaff, that we've had written statements that seem to sneak out at recesses or even before prorogation, which don't give members of this House the opportunity to raise on the floor of this House questions to the Government and the Cabinet Office. We've heard this phrase, working at pace, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, I can only think that I did refer a couple of weeks ago to snail's pace, but I'm starting to think that the old story about the race between the hare and the tortoise, that the tortoise has already lapped the Cabinet Office in relation to pace in dealing with this particular issue. And that is a very real frustration, because I do want to pay tribute to the Honourable Member for Kingston upon Hull North, who has led the all-party parliamentary group as co-chair with distinction, and I thank her for raising and bringing forward these amendments tonight. It's a pleasure to serve with her as one of the vice-chairs of that all-party parliamentary group. And I do want to, Mr Deputy Speaker, of course once again pay tribute to Glasgow South West constituents Cathy Young and her daughter Nicola Stewart, who have constantly raised this issue with me on a regular basis to ensure that they get justice. And they deserve justice, Mr Deputy Speaker, because it's those individuals who have cared for loved ones, who put their working careers to the side, who had to keep perhaps their potential academic careers and qualifications to the side in order to care for their loved ones. And it is now time, I believe, for that compensation to be delivered. And I do want to refer to the House of a series of tweets this morning by the Sunday Times political editor Caroline Wheeler as to justifying why these amendments should be raised today. And it is, I think, it's worthwhile reiterating and building on these arguments today, as the shadow front bench did earlier. Sir Brian Langstaff has chastised the Government, telling it there aren't any details, there is no timeline, there is no structure yet in place, and if it troubles my conscience, I would think it would trouble the conscience of a caring Government, and that they have said that that's what they wish to be. So I'm certainly of the view, along with those who are supporting this amendment, that the compensation scheme now needs to be established immediately and begin its work. Now, reference was made, Mr Deputy Speaker, an intervention by the Honourable Member for Kingston upon Hull, that the Government's awarded post office workers who've had wrongful convictions for theft and false accounting overturned, and that the compensation is now being paid whilst the inquiry is still ongoing. But there's yet another example that needs to be raised as to why you can work at pace or meet the demands of the day, and that is that during the pandemic, the Government set up a complex system of payments affecting millions of people under the furlough scheme within days during the pandemic. And those of us who were around at that time were given the opportunity to raise those issues. So if it can be done then, if the political will is there, then the political will should be there for this. And if the Government is not willing to use its political will, it's the responsibility of members of this House to impose our will onto the Government to make sure that that happens. Mr Deputy Speaker, justice delayed is justice denied. And we need to remember when considering this issue tonight that 4 victims continue to die every 4 days. And if that doesn't demand quick and immediate action from the government, then I suggest nothing will. And can I also say to them that if they believe for 1 second that delaying this issue and delaying the compensation saves money, then they are completely and utterly wrong, because no money will be saved by delays. Court cases involving the survivors of this scandal will resume within 3 months of the findings of the inquiry being published, and legal costs will be added to what the government will pay. Affected blood survivors should not be considered as something in terms of a spreadsheet, but people whose lives have been torn apart with opportunities denied and livelihoods destroyed. And so therefore, Mr Deputy Speaker, that's why I, my honourable and right honourable friends, will be supporting new clause 27 tonight. Thank you.
Hear, hear.